Hello and welcome to this Riviera-PRO demonstration. Today I'll be showing how to set up a continuous integration solution for your Riviera-PRO design projects using the Jenkins automation server. Now this is a really great means for automating your testing methods, as Jenkins here will essentially be set up to continuously probe for changes within a shared project and run tests on those changes whenever you or a team member upload their modifications to that repository. Before we get into that, however, I'd first like to show how to set up Jenkins. Now, before installing Jenkins, you must first make sure you have Java installed. The minimum version here is 7, but 8 is recommended. Jenkins itself can be downloaded from the Software's download page, where you can select your target environment. From here, once all the files are downloaded, all you have to do is navigate to the Jenkins directory and run java-jar on the jenkins.war file. And this will install the automation server. Be sure to enable the Git plugin during this process, which is under the recommended install options. Once installed, the interface for the tool can then be accessed by going to this URL here. And from here, you'll be prompted to set up an account. So I've already gone through the installation process and everything here. If you have any trouble setting up Jenkins, you can always refer to their installation guide. Or you can take a look at Aldec's own accompanying app note on this demonstration, which goes into detail for this process. But I'd like to now show how to set up the tool as our continuous integration engine. First thing we need to do is point Jenkins to our Git executable, allowing it to pull and build from our shared repository. This is done by going to Manage Jenkins, and then selecting Global Tool Configuration. Under Git, we can provide the path to our executable, as I have done here. And if you don't happen to see this option for Git, be sure to verify that you have the proper Git plugin installed, which can be verified within the Manage Plugins view. With Git now set up, we can begin setting up some automation for our project. To do so, we'll begin by creating a new item, which can be done from the Jenkins dashboard. And for now, we'll just use the freestyle type of project. From here, all we have to do to set up our simple testing method is provide the detail on the source code management. And for this demonstration, we will be accessing a GitHub repository via Git. With this option selected, we can now provide the link to the desired repository. For this demonstration, I've set up a repository hosting one of the Riviera-PRO examples. And with our repository connection established, we can also see this option here for selecting the branch of the repository. Should multiple members be working on different branches of this project, we could set up additional Jenkins items here to provide the continuous integration to those branches. For now though, I'll just go ahead and focus on this default master branch here. Now that Jenkins knows where to find our source code, we must set up some build triggers. There's quite a few triggers here, but we'll be using this pull SCM option. Here, we can provide a string in the cron format, which specifies minute, hour, day of month, and day of week. And you can choose any value in these categories to make your polling as specific as you'd like. What I have set up here is all wildcards, meaning on any day or hour and on every minute, Jenkins will check our source code for changes and trigger should any new commits be detected. With our trigger set, we now just need to specify the actions to be taken during the build. One of these actions is launching Windows batch commands, and this, coupled along with Riviera-PRO's batch mode, will be the means of our automated testing. All that is needed here is calling the tool's batch mode, and running the appropriate testing script. The script in question here simply runs the design and creates a simulation database, along with some output logs. The project that the script gets ran on is that which Jenkins builds itself, from that previously shared repository. With our changes in place, we can now save the new item. So now that we have our Jenkins server set up, as well as our project repository in development, we can begin to see our continuous integration in action. First, however, I'd like to show you the console output for Jenkins so we can see exactly what will happen during this process. As you can see, I've already manually built this item, which has caused Jenkins to pull the source code from my repository and build the project. From here, Jenkins also initiated that testing script on the newly pulled updated source code, and here we can see the output of that script. Let's now introduce a change to the source code from a local project, as if I were a contributor on this design. To show this off, I'll first go to the source code of the project on my end, and here I'll modify the currently implemented test bench. I'll just go ahead and add a printed message, like so. Now, when I'm finished making my changes and decide to push those modifications, as I'm doing now, Jenkins will go ahead and detect this change and run that test that we previously set up. We can actually watch this from the Jenkins interface. And there we can see Jenkins detected the change as indicated by the build for this item initiating. Currently, Jenkins is building the modified repo within itself. And from here, it will run Riviera-PRO on it via that script we saw earlier. With the build finished, we can go ahead and check out the Jenkins console output once again to see if our change made it through. Looking at the console log, we can see that the simulation test was indeed ran on the project that we had modified locally. Overall, we were able to automate the process of testing modified code whenever a contributor makes changes, allowing for quick and easy verification of a project in a collaborative environment. Should a problem ever be introduced in the source code here, Jenkins will work with Riviera-PRO's batch mode to automatically run the scripts and any additional actions specified, which will go ahead and log those errors. So if you're looking to implement continuous integration within your hardware design projects, look no further than extending Riviera-PRO's batch mode with the Jenkins automation server. And of course, thanks for watching.